We are literally in some of the greatest times ever. And in my opinion, it's mostly due to nostalgia. We're literally living in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And there's nothing like seeing your favorite basketball player or any sport athlete wearing those pairs of shoes that you saw for the first time and it just grabbed your attention like, man, I gotta have those. Or that hoodie, that jacket, or even that song that you first heard. It just keeps bringing you right back. And I feel like I am trapped currently in that loop. And I'm not mad. Let's get into it. What up, what up, what up? Prime Mega New Trees up on the floor. Trees up. Yes, so I am prepared for May 10th, the UNC Jordan 1s to drop. However, I am not prepared. I just found out that Thursday, May 1st, in selected stores, they're going to be dropping the Nike AirMax CB 94s. And man, that shoe brings back so many memories. I had, man, shout out to my pops. Once again, love you, pops. My freshman year, high school, my pops got me the Nike Air Force Max CB OG joints. Well, they'd be OG now. And I wanted to actually go back and get those, but I'll never forget, I had practice, I left them in my locker. Lo and behold, and I had a lock, I had a combination lock. I left them in there, I come back, somebody broke open the locker and the sneakers were gone. Well, needless to say, my pops was heated. Man, we was investigating that place. You think we was the FBI, man, trying to find them kicks. Never found them, and to this day, it left a vacant void in my heart, in my soul, because I know my pops bought those kicks with his hard-earned money, and it's not like I didn't get a chance to play them. I love playing them. And by the way, coach had me playing power forward, grabbing, throwing bowls against people that were 3 times my size, man. Crazy. Anyway, so May 1st, they're bringing out, well, they're dropping the Nike Air Force Max 2 CB94 and the black and purple joints and the all-white Phoenix Suns joints. And last time I think they dropped those last year. I think they dropped them at the beginning of last year and the year before, and I keep missing them. They sell out. Even when they're on the Nike app, when they're in stores, they sell out quickly and almost quietly. Like, it's like a thief in the night. They're gone. They're out with the quickness. Did I just say with the quickness? Damn, I'm literally living it. See? Nostalgia. Anyway, so needless to say, those OG joints that my pops bought me, they dropped in 2019. I didn't go back and get those, right? So I'm at a dilemma here. Should I just stick to my budget, proceed and wait for May 10th, or try my luck to get both Thursday, and then because it just, and then on, not to mention the prices on StockX for the CBs, they're not cheap. They're like at high 2s, low 3s. They're, it's crazy when you think about the shoes that don't get the credit they deserve, and maybe they do amongst a cult following, but man, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, those are fire. Those are great summer shoes, and they always drop them towards the summer. I remember that because when they dropped the white ones, they dropped them around this time, and I think that, again, that was 24, the summer of 24, I'm pretty sure. And I hesitated on those, they were gone. So I know the gray ones are widely available. I don't know if I want the gray ones though. Like I said, I definitely want the black and purple ones. Even the black and gray ones is fire. So, I had this, it's one of those things in my mind that I never completely had them. I don't know, like, even though they were a different shoe, they're still a CB, it's still a Charles Barkley. Even though the other ones got stolen, it just left this vacancy that I need to restore the feeling, And I think that's also, speaking of nostalgia, what nostalgia is all about, is restoring that feeling that when we were kids, that moment You get those pair of shoes that you never got, and you just walk right in. You tie them things on. You walk into another reality, man. Like, man, I remember this. You start hearing sounds, and even for me, smelling mom's cooking. You know, it takes you right back to them summers or whatever that time in your life where it was amazing. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't live in the past. You know, I still love these pairs because they're retros. I still love them now. I mean, literally, we were literally living in the best times, and some of us did not realize that we were at the most highest of creative times ever between the 80s and the 2000s. Things were just going up. You know, so much so that 30, 40 years later, the kids are wearing the things that we're wearing. And honestly, I probably haven't changed, honestly, my style up too drastically, far from what I wore in high school and in college. I mean, of course, as time goes on, it gets a little bit, you know, the clothes evolve and things get a little bit better. You know, they fit a little bit better. They're not as sloppy as they was before because you were in experimental times, you know. But as you get older, you take some of the basics with you, and you know, and you just make it your own. But now it's really easy because the kids and everybody else is wearing what we wore for the past 30, 40 years. We're back wearing baggy jeans again. Like, this is crazy. Like, and you know, I might have to just go get me back some. Actually, I do have. What am I talking about? The cargos. I got baggy cargos. Not trying to change the subject, but anyway, back to my point. Like I said, the CB94s. It's still like, I don't know. By the time Thursday hits, I don't know. But I know for sure I can't hesitate when that day comes because I won't get them. They'll be sitting, and then I have to wait or go StockX or GOAT or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why I felt like this was on my heart as a quote unquote sneakerhead. That is a pair that I always wanted to add to my collection, and I seem to be having a great year as far as grabbing the pairs that I wanted. And man, I just I saw those. I was like, why? Like, I have my heart set on these UNCs. Now it's like I got two to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's critical thinking, critical decision making. Got to be mindful of the budget. Got some things else I want to do, and I got to be mindful of that. But it's really difficult, and it's a show of discipline. You know, really, when you're trying to get control of things, and you know, favorite pairs is dropping, and then not to say that they're crazy amounts. You know, they're not a super hype shoe, but again, real sneakerheads know about these CB 94s. And like I said, because they sell out, and I say quietly because it's not a hyped up shoe, it's a respected shoe, and there's a difference between the two. Hyped up is like, yeah, it'd be cool for the first year or two. Yeah, I got them. You know, whoever got them, you know, got them on display, you wearing them. And then after the year or two is gone, you ain't wearing them no more. Which is why I'm not crazy about hyped up shoes. I'm not paying all that money for a pair of shoes that I might like for 3 minutes and now I'm ready to get rid of them. Like, that's not me. And no judgment against those who do that. You know, because some people do love their hype pairs. And, you know, and continuously, you know, rock them and find a way to just keep renewing them. You know what I'm saying? But my luck, I found out the shoes to me that are way over the top. It's like, why did I get these in the first place? You know what I mean? But so, like I said, the CB94s to me, they sell out quietly, and they're respected every time they drop. And it's not just on the Nike sneakers app. When you go to the store, like I said, maybe the gray pair is available. I did see the gray pair, but when I went searching before, when the black and purple dropped, they was gone. They was out of here. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, comment below. You know, I'm curious. Like, what's something that brings you that nostalgic feeling? You know, whether it be a TV show, some music, it could be some cooking, your favorite meal. Like, what is that thing that hits you and it takes you back quite a few years ago? You know, before things were, when they were way different. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me know, y'all. It's your boy Prime Mega.